Welcome in, quick hitters. Welcome in, Goodymo short crew. What a heartbreaker. Jaguars and Texans. Texans were lucky to even have a chance in the end to win this game. Didn't play well enough throughout. The defense especially, I want to talk about that secondary. Now, there's a few things that led to this loss, and it wasn't no game-losing field goal, if you want to look at it that way. Number one, no pressure on Trevor Lawrence throughout this ball game. He had all day to throw the football, and that's the only reason why I'm going to let this secondary off the hook just a little bit, not much. Where was the secondary in this ball game? Every time they caught the ball, they 7 to 8 yards off the receivers. Too much cushion, allowing them to roam all over the field, picking up monster yardage in this game after a score. After you score, all we begging for is a 3 and out or a turnover. And what they do, they allowed them to get chunk plays. Calvin really tore them up in the second half. Didn't do anything in the first half. But when you have a star receiver, and I know he was on a scouting report, had to be on the scouting report, because if he wasn't, I ain't gonna even say if he wasn't, that's ridiculous. But he is the focal point on their offense. How does this guy continue to get free? How does he get open? How is he picking up chunk plays? That's bad execution. And it seems like we keep coming up here talking about how they're not in the right position. They're allowing too much cushion on these receivers. So you gotta look at no pressure up front on Trevor Lawrence the whole game. Back end paid for it. Now I can understand them catching first downs, catching balls, but 7 to 8 yards cushion. I mean, they're catching a ball, you're not even in your defensive stance. The cushion is so wide, they're picking up 7 to 8 yards after the catch. You can't win that way. You just can't win that way. They're marching the ball up and down the field. Can't get off the field on third downs. Trevor Lawrence picking up third down conversions all day long. Can't make a play, can't get him off the field. That's the ball game right there. Can't put pressure on the quarterback and not covering the back end. Just didn't play well enough to win. And it was unfortunate because this was a big game at home for the division. You beat them, you make a lot of noise, you open up a lot of eyes. The crowd, I want to give a shout out to the crowd. The crowd came ready to shout. They came ready to shout in this one. It was very loud at Reliant Stadium. How long has it been since that crowd was ready to come out and cheer? They're getting behind this football team. Besides the penalties and a lack of pressure on the quarterback and the soft back end coverage we had in the secondary, this is a good game. Entertaining game. Game was good. Just lucky that they had a chance to try to win it in the end. And Matt Amendola, don't blame him. This wasn't his fault. That last drive, we could have got more yardage, put him in better position for a shorter field goal. He knocks it through. If that's a 57-yard field goal, we got a different storyline. You set him up with a 58-yard field goal. Backup kicker. Went out there doing his best, playing a backup position. You put him in a bad spot. All you need was a few more yards. You're looking at a field goal. A made field goal. But stalling out there in the end and allowed them to march up and down the field. That field goal didn't lose the game. The defense lost this game. Not being able to locate receivers, Ridley specifically, wide open on a lot of occasions. So I don't know where it broke down, but you just can't win a game by letting receivers roam all over the field, picking up first downs left and right. Chunk plays. 2 plays, they're in field goal range after you score. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. So yeah, it was tough. It was tough watching that. They had every chance to win this ball game. All they had to do was play a little bit of defense. Cover a little bit longer. 5-10 seconds, and we're looking at a different story. But they ran C.J. Stroud tired. He's running all over the field trying to make plays on the run, improvising like he does. And they end up running out of gas in the end. So they didn't play well enough to win this ball game. They're lucky to be there in the end. That's all we can say about it. We're going to listen to DeMeco Ryans, see what he has to say, then C.J. Stroud after that. But this one definitely got away. And luckily it got away because it could have been blown out on the other end if C.J. Stroud didn't make enough plays and score with Trevor Lawrence and that Jaguar offense. Because they was moving the ball up the field. Texans just kept coming back scoring with them. But you couldn't stop anybody when it counted. That was unfortunate. So let's see what DeMeco Ryans has to say. Tough one, heartbreaking loss at home.
Go ahead, guys. John.
Sorry, can you tell us about the decision to kick there instead of letting the offense have another shot?
Yeah, it felt like that was the right decision for us to kick the ball. It's close, didn't go in, right? Thought we had good range from there, just didn't make the kick.
DeMeco, how tough was it not to have your timeouts for the last drive? You talk about having to use them ahead of time.
It's tough for us, not having those timeouts, having to waste them on procedural things that we need to clean up. We have to play better. All those timeouts are just self-inflicting things that we have to be better at, right? Whether it's making sure we got the right amount of people on the field, right? Getting the calls in quicker, getting to the line of scrimmage quicker. We just have to be better. Yeah, the explosive plays, you can't have them, right? You give up explosive plays, it equals points, and that's what happened. We gave them too many explosives on defense, right? They beat us on a couple plays, good plays by them. We didn't execute the details of our job. When you don't execute versus a really good team, that's what happens.
It seemed that there was a lot of plays that were off script for CJ. What do you think was the biggest reason why you guys seem to not be on schedule and even really everything's all back to football?
Yeah, credit to Jacksonville for their defense. I think they mixed it up really well. Credit to those guys. They played well up front. Coverages, they were tight. And we got to play better up front. Got to protect it better. All right, we got to run the ball better, and it all starts up front. We weren't the best team up front today on the offense or the defensive line. We weren't the best teams, and that's the reason why we didn't win this game.
Coach Ray, obviously some questionable calls, that's going to come up primarily against coverage. It appeared that maybe Coach Peterson was putting him in some compromising situations. Just your observation of how Tavia performed in those circumstances, especially with Desmond being activated. Thought about interchanging them, or just schematically what you saw in those situations?
TT was good. He was in good position on a lot of those things. We'll take a look at the film and see, what it should have been.
This, of course, was for first place in the South. I guess, how do you put into words that? Did this feel like a missed opportunity at all, or how are you viewing it?
Not a missed opportunity for us. It's one that, of course, we didn't play our best. And as I told our guys, you don't play your best, you don't execute versus a good team, this is what happens, right? There's no need to hold our head or sulk about anything. Like, we got to do something about it when we're out there on the field, right? We got to execute. We got to play better. You play better, you'll win the game. And today we didn't deserve to win because we didn't play good enough.
Could you talk about the play at the end of the first half when they went for it and made the stop? Did you think that was going to give you the momentum to take over the lead, which you did in the second half?
And that stop at the end of the half, that was a really big play for us. Felt the energy from the defense. Felt like that should get us some momentum, get moving there. Then we come back out the second half, and we allowed them to convert on third down, and they just continued to drive. And for us to win this game, we knew we had to be better. We had to win third down, and of course they were better on third down than we were.
Hey, Coach. I know it's still early, but is there anything you can share about Titus Howard and what
you tell DeMeco is very frustrated in this press conference. He knows he lost this game by defense. He's a defensive guy. He's calling the plays. And this secondary is just too loose. Too loose for anybody's liking. We got to understand guys catching the ball, picking up first downs here and there. But the gap, the distance between the wide receiver and the defensive backs, is too much airspace. They wasn't into guys at all. And Calvin Ridley, star wide receiver for the Jaguars, you can't cover him up. You're playing like they're not trying to get him the ball. Pre-snap, you should already be thinking the ball is coming to him. Either we're going to roll coverage or the guy that's holding him one-on-one, you're going to get up into him. You're going to be alert. If you need to back off a little bit because of speed, back off a little bit. Don't let him get behind you. But at the same time, don't be too far back to where you got to run up to come catch him when he grabs the ball. It was just off balanced. You didn't want to get beat deep, but you gave up everything underneath by you chasing him down after you gave him a 7 to 8 yard gap. So yeah, he's a little frustrated because he knows his defense is better than that. We done seen it. For some reason, they were just 2 or 3 steps behind in this game. And it cost them big time.
What did you think about the debut of Juice?
Yeah, we're still evaluating Titus. We'll get more information on him as the week goes along. And Juice, I thought he stepped in. He did a good job of being ready to go.
Well, Goodymo, did the Jaguars do anything that you didn't expect, or was it just a lack of execution?
Just execution for us. Nothing that we didn't expect. It was just execution. And that's what it comes down to, right? Tight divisional game. All right, we have to execute better.
You all decided to pass the ball on both of the plays. What went into the decision to pass instead of running?
Yeah, I have to look at that. I mean, at the end of the day, whenever we call a call, we feel like we're going to get the first down. Right? And that's why you call the call. Everybody can question the call or whatever it may be. Get the first down, nobody's questioning. But everybody's going to question your decision-making when it doesn't go your way. Right? So that happens. That's ball. You make calls, right? Expect your playmakers to step up and make plays.
Coach, CJ's improvisation this afternoon, but still it looked like that Jacksonville was able to just put a picket around the receivers, in particular in the second half. Nobody could really just get consistently open, but periodically. But CJ had to extend the plays just to allow him a chance to get open today. Was there something unique that Jacksonville done in the second half that just guys couldn't get open on?
I thought CJ did a really good job of being able to move around and extend plays. Made a couple big plays for us. One there versus Tank that got called back. Unfortunate there. I thought he moved around well when he had to. Took what the defense gave him.
Close with DJ and John.
In the loss, you guys currently fall to that third place in the AFC South, kind of all that wild card top 7 spot. How do you prevent this loss from spiraling and make sure you guys get back on track?
Hey, you don't have to prevent anything. Guys just have to come to work, like I told them. Like, we're close there for this game. It's how you respond is how you come back to work throughout the week. There's no magic that's just going to happen. Nobody's going to show up and help. Like, it's just about our guys just stepping up and executing in the moment. And that's the message to our guys.
Then on the 3rd and 4th downs, miscommunication with Nico, another one did. Doesn't CJ have options on that?
I'll have to look at the plays and see what happened on those.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, go ahead, Christy.
CJ, obviously the missed field goal there at the end was the end, but do you feel like y'all had missed opportunities before that got to that point?
First and foremost, I want to give all glory and praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It was a great Jacksonville team. We fought hard, but and to answer your question, I mean, you can't put the last play of the game, supposedly, or if it is or if it's not, you can't put the whole game on that situation. We got to be cleaner, execute better. First half, I felt like we came out second half, moved the ball pretty well, but we gotta play complementary football on offense and defense. We got to help each other out. So it's a great one to learn from, but no, you don't want to lose a close game like that, and it's tough to put it all on the kicker's hand and everything. I think Matt has done a great job, and we got to put him in better situations, maybe get closer or even go try to score a touchdown and win the game. So a lot of different things that could happen and play out a different way.
What's it like for you to see it, you know, that continue to full no matter the situation?
Man, it's amazing. That's all you want as a quarterback, and especially being a rookie. there's a lot of veterans on this team, and the way they look at me before we go out there or just any play at practice, however, wherever we're at, they always give me that confidence, and they show me that they really do trust in me, and I trust in them right back. So it's definitely helpful, and it gives me a lot of confidence. So I appreciate those guys fighting for me, and I'm fighting right for them.
CJ, what did the Jags do today differently than they did from the first time you played against them?
They really didn't do too much. Actually, they sent some pressure, but not as much as they did early on. They got us a couple times in some weird fronts with some pressure looks, and I got to be better with throwing the ball high and things like that. But they really didn't do much different. They're a sound team. They're up front. Josh Allen and Walker set the tone, and they did a good job stopping the run today. And we got to just be better at execution. We got to fight. We got to be dogs out there. And we had a glimpse of it. We had a lot of good things, but not good enough to win. So got to go back.
And if you really wanted to be a little picky, let's say for their offense, as he was playing some hero ball, he made some outstanding plays. But down in the stretch, those sacks that he took knocked him out of rhythm. You end up going in second and long, taking some sacks there, trying to create and make some things happen. I think that's where CJ has to throw that ball away. He needs to make a quicker decision, save that yardage, because it seemed like they were behind the chains a little too much, trying to make this comeback. And I think you stayed ahead of the chains, you might have had a better opportunity to move the football down the field to score a touchdown or to get Amendola a closer kick. It was just too much. Like, we lost it on both ends. The offensive line broke down on certain instances. Defensive line for sure didn't get the pressure, paid for it on the back end. So they just didn't play well enough. And it was unfortunate they didn't play well enough in a big game like this. Shocking that they had an opportunity at the end.
Back to the drawing board and find out what happened, and then go move on and play this tough Denver team and get a win there.
Nico,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Nico was saying that in years past, a loss at this point is kind of another loss for this team. But right now, this loss hurts. What does that say about this team going forward, that this does hurt at this stage of the season?
It's a long season, man. I don't think it hurts us like that. Like, of course, yeah, divisional, you want to win the game, and it hurts us pretty significant, man. It's about a mindset, though. Like, what we gonna do? Not play no more? Like, we gonna just tuck our tail and not play hard? Like, nah, I don't really believe in that type of mindset. I'm going out there every play, every game, trying to win. So I don't really think that our season's over at all. It's a long year. We have 6 more games to play, 7 more games to play. Like, it's a lot more football left, and you can see the trajectory we're on. We're taking strides, but we got to play complementary football. We got to play for the offense. We got to help the defense. Defense got to help the offense, and special teams have to do their job too. So there's a lot of things we can learn from, but I think we're at where we're at, and the sky's the limit still. There's no confidence taken away in this loss. We're going to learn from it. We're going to get better. We're going to go get a dub.
You had a couple of impressive plays where you're extending the play, escaping the rush. You also had a couple of impressive scrambles. How do you balance that in your mind? Obviously, things are probably moving a million miles per hour in the moment, but you've done a pretty good job of determining what to throw the ball on the field.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I try to do my best to keep my O-line honest, move in the pocket really well, and when it's time to scramble and get some yards, try to go get some yards. And feel like I try to do that as much as possible today. Got a couple good runs, but at times and sometimes I don't need to scramble. But it's tough when they're towards the end, especially they were dropping 8, rushing 3, and they're really covering a lot of the zones, taking away some of the short stuff and backing up so we take away the deep stuff. So my job is to try to make a play, and I feel like I did that as many times as I could. Credit to those guys in Jacksonville. It's a great team. They have a great defense. From D-line all the way to DBs to the backers, communicate very well. And, I mean, at the end of the day, we got to lick our chops and lick our wounds and understand, like, it is what it is, and we got to be better. So I got to go out there and make some more plays on my end. And but this isn't the end. We'll be better. Yeah, we're brothers, man. It was one of the things that coming from Ohio State, man. Like, that's our motto, is the brotherhood. And I didn't know if it would be like that in the NFL, but honestly, it is. It's quite the same. Of course, guys have kids and things like that, and but really we're hanging out a lot together. We're always together, of course, in the building, and we actually hang out away from the building. And Case and Davis in my room have been amazing to me. A lot of guidance, a lot of confidence building, a lot of honesty, and really just a lot of life skill building from them being older than me and helping me out in certain situations on the field and off. So this team is really close, and that's the thing about losing in this league. I told them in the locker room, like, it's only two things: it's you either win or you learn. And we have the mindset in there that we're gonna learn from this and we're gonna be better.
See that again, another historic performance by you today, the passing yards from the rookie through 11 games and all of that. But think about, like, philosophically how you go about attacking the defense, right? All the praise goes when you take the deep shots down the field, 50 yards and all that. What is Bobby Slowick and Gerard Johnson and D'Amico game planning? Are you learning to appreciate the check down and the things that get immediate as much as the glory that comes with pushing the ball down?
Yeah, for sure. I think I've taken steps from all the way from OTAs to training camp of, like, you get so excited, you get the play call, oh, damn, we got a shot. Like, I'm going to do my best to make it work. But if it's not there, just being smart. The worst thing you can do in this league is play behind the chains. So my job is to, even if it's not the best look against a certain play call, my job is to make Bobby always right, make this team always right, and whoever has the ball in their hand, and most of the time it's me, like I'm really feeding other people's family. Like, I can either lose them money or make them money. So I just try to be smart with that. But it's a controlled aggression that I have, and I feel like today I try to do my best with that. They took away really all our deep shots, and thought I did a good job of making plays and taking check downs and just playing the game honest. But we got to be better on third down if we're going to live like that. So a lot of things that we need to work on and things like that. But I'm enjoying the process of the game, and I'm not going to be bored by taking the check downs and stuff.
You got time for 3 more, Ari, Cody, and TJ.
So you felt like there was more scrambling, more running, more escaping from you today. How much of that was built-in game plan stuff? How much of it was the pressure? And how much of it was just situational?
Really all three. It's a players' league. I got to go out there and make plays, and sometimes when it's not there on the field, sometimes they get you. Like, they're in the NFL too. I mean, they get paid, and they cover us up pretty well, and it's my job to extend the play. I think we did a good job in scramble drill. I know towards the back end we're a little tired out there, so we weren't really moving well. And
I think that ought to do it. Good head on his shoulders. Guy's a competitor, like his mindset. He's definitely a winner. Does not like losing. Student of his craft. And Texans got a good one. I'm going to give 2 good takeaways from this game. Try to brighten it up a little bit. Number 1, you can't just come in and just knock the Texans around and think it's going to be an easy win or they're going to lay down. They're going to fight, and they're going to be in every game now. This team does not quit. They're going to play all 4 quarters, and they're going to let you know you've been in a dogfight even when you beat them. That's the biggest change in the culture that we all seeing. So that's one bright spot. Number 2, they didn't even play their best game. Bad execution, pretty much across the board. You heard D'Amico down in the trenches, on the back end, wide receivers running loose like crazy. C.J. Stroud's on the run trying to make plays. Some plays he's got time, some plays he doesn't have time. But across the board, they did not execute. And they still had a chance to win in the end. Those are the 2 bright spots. So things are changing. They'll just take this one upside the head, move on. Yeah, it was a big divisional game you needed to have, a game you wanted bad. And if you came to play just a little bit and was real close on the details, you would have pulled this game out. You know, Jaguars are good, but they're not that good. You handed them what they had most of the time, and the refs helped them out as well. With those bogus flag calls for pass interference and holding, a lot of them was ghost calls. It's like they were just trying to give the Jaguars the game, and came close to basically giving it to them. But I'm pretty sure they wanted to give it to them with a bigger lead, not come down to a field goal. So Houston beat themselves, and they was going against some extra causes in the game, if you want to call it that. But they had everything going against them and beating themselves. They didn't have that in plan. And ultimately, it lost them the ball game. So take this one in, get better in practice. You got the Broncos coming up. Like we always say, keep that train moving. There's no need to stop now. You can't change what happened in this ball game. Yes, it was a bad loss because it was right there for the taking, and you could have took it. And be honest with you, they could have won by a pretty good margin if they played Texan football, even with Trevor Lawrence running around throwing the way he did. But it took them a while. I mean, really didn't do nothing in the first half. All his action came in the second half. It's like we just lost coverage. Or was thinking, well, he didn't do nothing in the first half. Well, they're not looking to go. I don't know what they were looking at. But that's their best wide receiver. They're looking to go to him. Anytime, any chance they get, you got to be thinking about that. That's all I'm saying. And Ridley ain't the only one that hurt him. Kirk was catching big balls all over the field. So they wasn't covering up anybody. Big play after big play. So got to get it together. And Philadelphia Eagles and the Bills, that was a hell of a game. Eagles pulled that one out, had to come back from behind and won it in Philadelphia fashion. Jalen Hurts with a game-winning touchdown in the end. That game was going back and forth, and I mean Josh Allen was trying to take down my Eagles. He was like, I'm going to take it to you. And he came real close. That's one of the best games I've seen the Bills play, especially this season. Probably the best game they played all year, in my opinion. I don't watch all their games, but that game here today, Josh Allen played his butt off. Throws some tight balls in traffic. Running the ball, picking up big yardage. He was just making plays all over the field. So shouts out to Josh Allen. That's the way everybody expecting you to play if you want to be what we call the top 5 elite quarterbacks in this league. You have to be more consistent on that end. Not daring balls too many times in the tight coverage. But great game by you. Fell short. Eagles slipped out with one. That was off to a slow start themselves. Raining, pouring down. It was a nasty, ugly game, but they found a way to pull it out. That's all that matters. So y'all enjoy yourselves. This is Slouchy Sunday. Texans fall to the Jaguars. The game that was right there for the taking, just couldn't seal the deal. And y'all enjoy yourselves. Making it Monday, tomorrow, work week. So get your rest. We out of here. G.S.Q.H. Enjoy yourselves. I'm out of here. Peace.